Listen, Black Moses is asking the question if Flex would play It's So Easy, and yes, he would. He would play that shit.
Would definitely play
he would drop bombs on it. I remember. It was a summer joint.
Yeah, he did.
It was a summer joint. Matter of fact, shout out to the artwork. The artwork was fire. It was the Italian ices. If you know, you know. The Merino ices.
It was the Italian ices.
The Luigi ices. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. Oh man! Shout out to that artwork. I have that 12-inch somewhere in my closet.
I gotta ask though. I know Black Moses is not here to actually voice his words, but why does it matter if Flex will play it or not? I mean, I know the New York contingent has a feeling towards this, but I don't give a fuck if Flex will play it or not.
Well. Respectfully,
no venom towards you, Black Moses.
No. Respectfully, listen.
I don't know.
Claro que spicy.
DJ Ho was allowed to express himself. DJ Ho was allowed to express himself respectfully. As the East Coast representative, I just wanted to make sure that you know, around this time, Flex's sort of point of view was valid. 95, 96, Flex still mattered.
It mattered.
To a degree.
That time it did.
Hip hop still wasn't around 24/7 yet. It was just starting to open up to being 24/7, but wasn't still 24/7 everywhere. Maybe on the radio at that point, but not TV yet. You know, and it wasn't in your movies yet. It wasn't at that level yet. So Flex playing a record like It's So Easy. He definitely didn't play Groupie Therapy. I almost positive he didn't play Groupie. Not only did they never even pushed on that record. Yeah, but It's So Easy was again a single, like straight up single, but the second single as a matter of fact. And I could see Flex passing on Stakes Is High, the first single, for what the sound wave at the time is, which is, you're talking about 96, right? What are we talking about? Like Nas, It Was Written, right? Like, he's kind of like, bravado, WU-TANG is killing it. Like, I need something that's going to keep up. And then they come out with this, and it's like, oh shit, okay, here we go. And that worked for them, luckily.
I never put that much credence in Flex.
No, Flex at this time, I gotta give it up.
I grew up in New York.
Flex, again, not to say all of it was manipulated, but regardless of manipulation or not, the power that he held, even to be able to manipulate, which he vehemently denies, but there's so many ways to dance around that. The point being that Flex played your fucking record. And there's a certain era. I don't want to go over the era right now.
I was just about to say that.
There's a certain era, a certain client, like from this to this.
Yeah.
Flex, if he played your fucking record, man, and he like, and if he also, hence the, let's just call it the metaphorical bombs.
Yeah, Flex had that run, definitely. I would co-sign that. Later on, and now it's a little bit different, but at that time, during that time, it was pivotal that Flex was playing your record. That means you was getting some looks. If
he was debuting your record Monday night, he easily could turn, at the time, right? We're talking like, let's say like 96, like, this new Nas record, like easily for like a half an hour, like just that tease of like I'm not even, and then another half hour of playing you like 15 seconds and like bringing it back and bringing it back and starting over and like I gotta bring it back, New York. And we used to like, because radio's all we had.
Yeah.
What the fuck we had? You know what I'm saying?
Now it's different. Now it's different.
Now it's a completely different.
Now it's completely different.
I remember that. What year is You Can Hate Me Now? What year is that? Is that like 96?
That's like 96, I think.
I remember him teasing the shit out that record.
Yeah,
on one night.
Yeah,
and like because the beginning alone, you could see right, all that dramatic before even the first verse, and then blah, bring it back, start all over again. You're like, let me play the record. and you're easily sitting. For like I said, he did the same thing with the Pun remix. Shout out Big Pun. We did the Biggie and Big Pun episode recently. He did the same thing with that remix. I'm gonna play this remix, and I'm gotta go home, and I'm waiting on the train platform. Like, come on, motherfucker, play this record, so I can get on the fucking train. Cause I'm like, if I can still hear on the platform, then I'm good. If I get on the train, I'm done for like at least 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you know what I'm saying, in the system.
You still would have heard that bomb going on.
Yo, one more thing. So it was so worth listening to that shit choppy as I did.
I was just going to say Flex just blew me. Pause.
No, I was just going to add something that Black Moses kind of mentioned where he said that Stretcher Mobito played underground joints back then, but Flex not so much. I would agree, but what I'd say is that that's also where I always mentioned in the shows of the dividing of hip hop, right? So Flex, you see, was kind of taking hip hop to what it kind of is today, so to speak, of where you have different sides of hip hop now, where now you have that backpack, and then you have that era of now we about money, we about cars, we about fame. And Flex was like right in the cusp to me at the time of that situation where he had that era, had that run where you want to hear like the artifacts and the natural elements. So that was Stretch My Beat. That was Martin Moore. That was Wildman Steve. That was all of those shows who had that stuff.
When Flex wasn't getting caught up in the big corporate side, this is even bigger than him. Like this is like MS and New York, I was iHeartRadio and all that. You know what I'm saying? MS1 or this is like this is before the syndicated playlist started becoming the national thing, right? Like Flex had to fill up the fucking mix show like every night. Like I gotta come up with something to play every fucking day because he was the basically like Monday through fucking Saturday guy.
He by himself technically was the main hip hop guy in New York.
Listen, we gotta be clear. We gotta be clear. I say it. Actually, there's no other way to say it but respectfully. Flex raised us. When it comes to this New York hip hop shit, Flex had a hand in raising us.
Nah, hobo.
That's what I said, New York. When it comes to this New York shit, listen. When it comes to this New York shit,
Hobo said, "Watch your mouth."
and to a certain degree, Flex later on had a pull on let's say like the hobos world as well, but you know with Big Dog Pitbulls and getting different DJs from different regions and you know like all that shit. But like, yeah, but listen, we're talking about them early years. I used to fucking record Flex.
Hobo has a rebuttal.
I used to record him.
Hobo.
So I mean, I respectfully, you said Flex raised us. Yeah, Flex raised me to not fucking talk on the mic, dude.
He definitely there was a point in time. You're right. There's a point in time where Flex, respectfully, as far as a metaphor, pulled the Ebro. Even the Ebros later on in life, like where Flex pulled the Ebro, like hold on, I want to be like the instead of just the because he was this. He used to have Dennis Rivera was part of it. Was like his fucking host.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had Angie at one point. He wasn't like he would talk. Don't get me wrong, but he was like the Mr. C. The way Mr. C don't talk that much. He was that, and then he became the like, hold on, get everybody the fuck out of here. Like give me the check for all of them. Now take us to Howard Stern. Like I'll take us to the fucking sky, and he did though. He delivered because he was the only guy.
Mm-hmm. This is Flex 96, not 2010 Flex or 2022 Flex. Like this is 95, 96 Flex, so it's totally different.
Yeah, he's still getting his paper.
This is not the Flex episode.
Trip, CEO, thank you, Trip.
Thank you,
Trip.
My Uber Eats is about to be here any minute. Triple C, like my Uber Eats about to be here any minute.
Triple C put his foot